All right, Young Kings, what's up for your Week 8 recap? That's right, the real Week 8 recap. Please stand up. Sorry about last week. We all know it's the Week 7 recap. But cheers to almost Halloween. We're trying to stay real loose for the recap this week. We got a long one, a lot of action, trade deadline, trades going on as the video is being made. So let's get right down to the nitty gritty. All right, Sean versus Tina. All right, Sean, there's something to be said for you this week, and I think the whole world is waiting for us to say it. Chester Rogers? I mean, yeah, the kid got some good looks in weeks past, but you stuck with your gut, and it cost you the game this week. The minute you saw Allen Robinson, you probably should have put Anthony Miller in because you knew his looks would increase, but I get it. You were starting Burton. Burton was bound to get more looks with Robinson out. But on Burton, he scored you 4 points this week. Ingram on your bench with 13. Is that kid back? Who knows? Have to stay tuned on that. But you start Robinson and Ingram, you would have won. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. That's fantasy for you. However, gotta say it. If Tino kept his lineup, you would have won. But he didn't start Deshaun Watson, which is a big question mark there. What's going on? Aaron Jones, big points too, running back one. Now let's be honest, folks. It's starting to look like Tino just might be putting his lineup to keep things interesting week to week. Moving on, Mike versus Kel. This performance makes it official. Kel has kissed his shot at the championship goodbye. The once elite team lost a major player this week as Markel trades AJ Green for Nelson Aguilar and Nick Chubb. I mean, big Chubb guy, big old chubby, zero chance of making it home with some hardware this year. I mean, what a fool. I don't know what type of witchcraft Dan pulled on this kid, but took Markel for a ride on this one, and that train has a one-way ticket to Loserville and ain't coming back. Nice second win, Mike. Good score, even though your running back two put up 0 points for you. So look for Mike this week to be in the market for some running backs. Tristan versus Dan. Well, tomorrow's Halloween, and gotta say, Dan's team is back from the dead, and it's looking straight spooky. Thanks to Markel, Dan's receiving core is stronger than ever, and he pieced together a fantastic team. True Dr. Frankenstein, if you will. With other trade factors at play, of course. I know Sean is thinking he may just have been left for dead in the middle of a horror film that's looking to be next week's matchup. However, Tristan's team puts up a great 142 points, looking great. All he needed to do to beat Dan was lower production from Justin Tucker and to start Matthew Stafford over Flacco. All in all, great game, good managing. That's why it's the Capit Curtis game of the week. Moving on. John versus Joey. You hate to see it. Single Joey's record winning streak had to come to an end sometime, I guess. And the two teams that have been most affected by Le'Veon Bell's absence this year squared up this week. John's team underproduced greatly, allowing Joey's squad to almost sneak a W. But John is able to fend off Joey as James Conner puts the team on his motherfucking back, though, with Le'Veon Bell still gone and fucking Joey two different ways this week. So look for this matchup in the DP category of your favorite website. Also, shout out to The Walking Dead on John's bench. Larry Fitz with 26 points. Fitz back? Maybe? Question mark? Who knows? John might have some big decision making to do next week. Stay tuned. Cobbs versus Johnny. Cobbs team back in full form, pulling out a solid W against Johnny. Fuller comes up big for Cobbs this week, doing all that he can on the field before the kid succumbs to a season-ending ACL injury. Cobbs grabs his shotgun, heads to the screen door, opens it, looks back, says, "He's my flex, Curtis. I'll do it." Real tearjerker story there. Speaking of tearjerkers, let's talk about Johnny's season. He is now 0-8. Had to dig deep in the pockets of the Captain Curtis fund, but we were able to secure a plane ticket for 0-7 cousin 0-8 to take the trip across the pond to take a break from the October festivities and console Johnny. 0-8, welcome to the States. Thank you, Curtis, and Guten Schlag, everybody. My name is Owen 8. Born and raised in Deutschland. Johnny, I'm here to tell you it's going to be okay. A lot of the greats had the right idea but still lost. I think you know who I am talking about. Look at us, brother. World War One, you say, World War Two, almost, but, it sucks, but you have to deal with it. Who knows, maybe World War Three will work out for us like your week 9. But seriously, chin up, kid. My good friend Dwight Schrute, he would tell you We have a word for your season in our language, Perfektenschlag. Although you may not have a perfect record of wins, you do have a perfect record of losses, which is Perfektenschlag. Okay, so chin up, Curtis, back to you. All right, Owen, thanks for coming in. Enjoy your stay. Leave your contact info. We might need your stepbrother, Owen 9, for next week. All right, moving on to Brian versus J-Rock. Two of the biggest shit talkers match up this week in a low-scoring battle for the ages. Brian takes home the W with a big night from James White and the rest of the Pats that put up just enough to seal the deal against J-Rock. J-Rock's team and his defense just didn't show up. Look for J-Rock to be making some moves in the running back department, piece together a team ready to fight for the playoffs. Brian's team with a lot of potential and even greater potential on the horizons at the trade deadline for the NFL was today, and with a couple of trades in the league. Brings us to our extra segment this week, the trading block. So, welcome to the trading block, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking trades for this week. Big week for trades. Cooper to the Cowboys. Not sure how much impact this will have. Looks like it'll be a wait-and-see scenario in the next coming weeks. Cooper's production on the Cowboys may just land him a spot back on Markel's roster. Lord knows he needs the help. Tate to the Eagles. Golden Boy Tate headed to Philadelphia looking to leave his mark with the Eagles. Tate hasn't been the front runner in Detroit, as we all expected this year, with Marvin Jones Jr. and Kenny Galladay, looking to be the star children in the end zone this season. So Sean is definitely happy about this trade, as Tate will most likely have an immediate impact with Carson Wentz in that Phillies passing offense. However, that trade comes a little bittersweet for Sean, as it leaves Tate with another bye week in Week 9, which could very well put the preeminent nail in the coffin for his matchup against Dan's new team, so stay tuned and moving on. Montgomery to the Ravens. Shaking it up in Baltimore. Just when Collins looked to have the starting job and Joey was sleeping well at night, look for Joey to have a few nightmares as Ty Montgomery looks to make an impact on his new team with the Ravens. Thomas to Houston. Demaryius Thomas heads to Houston, leaving Sanders as wide receiver 1 in Denver. Will Fuller's injury could mean Thomas has an immediate impact for the Texans. Hopkins stock down maybe, who knows. But we do know Joey might have the medicine he needs to get back to sleep after those nightmares are over. All right, and then finally Brian and Mike in our own league have their own trade. AB to Brian, Ingram and Sanders to Mike. Brian's team becomes even more stacked for the potential to put up serious numbers any given week. So watch out and pray you're not the sad soul that his team decides to erupt on. Looking at this deal for Mike, it solves his running back problem, and Sanders being now the sole elite wide receiver in Denver. I think overall it's a good trade. And one at least Mike needed to happen, even though he had to give up AB. However, it looks like these brothers might have a little family mutiny going on as they look to help each other out and take down Cugino Tino in the process. That's it for Week 8 recap. See you next week for Week 9.